What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Eternal Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob, and this is Reckoning, our fantasy booking series here on the podcast. And this is 2 weeks until the August 29th pay-per-view, Riptide. With that being said, our show starts off with Macho Man Randy Savage. He's in the ring already, and he's in his black and white madness attire, and he's got one thing on his mind: the world title. He slowly raises his microphone to his mouth. The crowd, they react. Macho Man, he looks around, just kind of gazing over the crowd, taking it in for a moment. And he says that last week, the madness did exactly what the madness said it was going to do. He goes on to remind everybody that he beat Scott Hall last week. He says that Scott Hall thought he was going to walk into the ring and prove he was a bigger threat. He laughs that deep Macho Man laugh, but he ran into the madness. And he pauses. And now I've got one little problem left. And he points towards the entrance, Finn Bálor. And the crowd reacts, and Macho just shakes his head. Let me tell you something, Finn Bálor. And then he starts pacing in the ring, back and forth. He goes on to say that everybody keeps talking about how this guy is undefeated. He chuckles, undefeated, please. Macho just dismisses the undefeated streak of Finn Bálor with his hand. He continues with his promo. Hollywood Hogan couldn't beat him. Kevin Owens couldn't beat him. The outsiders couldn't take that championship away from him. You know what I call that? And he pauses for a minute. Luck. The crowd boos. Boo, boo. He points back at the entrance ramp one more time. Macho keeps pandering. He keeps going on. Finn Bálor has been walking around here pretending he's some kind of unstoppable prince. Macho shakes his head. You're not the prince of anything. You're a fluke. The crowd gets louder. Some of them are chanting for Macho Man. Some of them are booing him, trying to boo him out of the building even. You've been in the right place at the right time. You've got the right man on the right night. And you've managed to hold on to that championship. Now he's pointing at the camera. He's staring down the camera lens here, Macho Man is, Randy Savage. And now you've got the wrong man who's gonna stand across from you. Then on the Titantron on the entrance stage, we see our World Heavyweight Champion, Finn Bálor, appears. He doesn't look angry. He looks kind of amused by everything that Macho's been saying. And the crowd, they're screaming because Finn appeared on the screen. And then Macho, he starts immediately noticing what happened. And he's just being very pompous here, talking over Finn Bálor before Finn can even get a word out. Don't you dare smile at me. And he continues on that because you've got that championship around your waist, you think you're better than me? Finn, you're looking at the greatest athlete in this business. You're looking at the man who is going to expose you for what you really... Finally, Finn is able to get a word in. Are you finished? He asks. And Macho Man, he just gritting his teeth back. And he's just pacing back and forth, back and forth. You spent the last few minutes telling everyone that I'm lucky. And Finn kind of looks over at the title that's on his shoulder. Funny, because I've heard that before. Everybody who steps in the ring with me has an explanation for why I haven't lost. It's either luck, timing, a fluke. And Finn kind of lets a little grin here. And every single one of them has an excuse when the bell rings. And Macho Man cuts him off and he's screaming, you're nothing, you're nothing. Then proving you wrong should be easy, Finn says. Finn raises that title so the camera really gets a good look at the World Heavyweight Championship. But Randy, you don't have to beat a fluke. You have to beat me. And the screen goes back to the Reckoning logo. Macho Man, he's left in the ring. He's furious. He's raising both of his arms. At Riptide, I'm going to show the world that Finn Bálor never belonged on top. The madness is taking that championship. And he throws the microphone down. Next up is our opening contest of the evening. Out comes the legends, the tag team of Rhythm and Blues. Honky Tonk and Greg the Hammer Valentine. And Honky Tonk Man, he's talking about that the tag teams on the Reckoning roster, they're forgetting who the real legends are here. And that Greg the Hammer Valentine says the younger generation needs to learn some respect. Anybody in the back who thinks they're good enough, come find out what Rhythm and Blues can still do. And there's a pause here. In the crowd, they're waiting. They're anticipating who's going to come out. Papa 40 and check your rollies. It's crime time. JTG and Shad Gaspar, they come out. JTG, he's pointing at the guitars that Rhythm and Blues have as they have on their jumpsuits, Elvis inspired. Just don't break those guitars when we beat you. And Honky Tonk doesn't find that funny. So the match begins, the bell sounds, and Rhythm and Blues, they're using their experience, trying to control the pace here. Greg, he's targeting JTG's legs, and Honky constantly looks for shortcuts. Distracting the referee, choking JTG on the ropes. JTG, He's fighting out. He's fighting back. But Valentine cuts him off. Honky tags in. He drops a knee and he begins working JTG over here. Finally, JTG's able to catch Honky with a big kick to the head, and he's crawling towards the corner, looking for the hot tag. Finally getting that tag, Shad explodes into the match, running through Valentine, then Honky. Tonk Man. Big clothesline, then another clothesline. Shad catches Valentine. He throws him across the ring. JTG joins in. They hit a big power move, going for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and your winners, the debuting team of Crime Time. JTG and Shad, they're celebrating here. They turn towards the entrance ramp, and they're excited. They're looking at the fans. They're celebrating this victory, but they don't see Rhythm and Blues sliding into the ring with their guitars. A big crack! They smash their guitars over the back of Shad and JTG, and the crowd is just booing Rhythm and Blues out of the building now. Honky Tonk Man, he grabs a microphone. "Welcome to Reckoning," he says. Thank you very much. And Rhythm and Blues, they leave. They left the debuting tag team Crime Time in a pile of busted up guitar parts. Next up, we see Rob Van Dam. He's being interviewed backstage, and he's still honked off that he lost to Kevin Owens last week. And he's saying that Owens didn't beat him because he was better, only that he got lucky. KO, he walks in the frame. Owens here says, "If I got lucky, you shouldn't have a problem doing it again." Then RVD starts getting up in his face. Rob says, "You think you can beat me twice?" Owens is just like, "Yep." RVD smiles. "You know what they used to call me?" He says, "Mr. Monday Night." Then he looks at the camera. "But this is Reckoning, and pretty soon I'll be known as Mr. Tuesday Night." Kevin, he just chuckles here. Whatever you gotta call yourself, just show up. A graphic appears on the bottom of the screen. Kevin Owens and Rob Van Dam will face each other again in the coming weeks. Next up, we got a singles match here. The Sandman taking on Darby Allin. Darby comes out first, and then the Sandman, he comes out. He comes down through the crowd. He's got that Singapore cane, but Darby never takes his eyes off of it. When the match starts, Sandman, he's starting the match very ugly here, throwing Darby in the corner. Heavy right hands. Darby's firing back. Sandman drops him with a clothesline, and he starts targeting Darby's back here. Darby tries to escape through the ropes. Sandman catches him, and he throws Darby into the barricade. Then Sandman rolls him back into the inside of the ring, and he's going for another attack. But Darby ducks and hits a suicide dive, taking the Sandman down. The crowd is rallying behind him. And then Darby gets Sandman back in the ring, and Sandman catches Darby with a big sudden strike, pinning Darby. 1, 2, Darby Allin kicks out. Sandman's looking a little frustrated. He's looking for that kendo stick, but the referee grabs it before he can. Darby hits a sudden kick. Sandman stumbles. Big code red. Then Darby climbs to the top. Coffin drop. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Your winner, Darby Allin, here in this match. But Darby, he doesn't celebrate. He sits on the mat for a minute, and he looks in the camera nearest to him, and he kind of crawls over to it. "Johnny," referencing Johnny Gargano, "I'm getting closer." And then he leaves, just marches back up the entrance ramp. Backstage, Jungle Boy, he's getting interviewed. He's talking about the upcoming Tag Team Championship match that Jurassic Express will have with the Hardy Boys at the Riptide pay-per-view. He's saying that the Hardys, they're legends. We respect everything they've done. But at Riptide, they're not legends to us. They're the champions standing between us and those titles. And then the Hardys walk into frame. Matt smiles, and that's exactly what we wanted to hear. Jeff says, "Because we don't want you thinking we're going to take it easy on you." So how about next week? The Hardys, Jurassic Express, a little tune-up match. Jungle Boy accepts. They shake hands. And then when Jeff looks towards Luchasaurus, "But don't think we're going to take it easy on you," Jeff is just staring at Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus just roar. That big roar. "That's what I was hoping for," Jeff says, and they nod. So next week, the Hardys against Jurassic Express. We got another singles match on the card tonight. Eddie Kingston, the Mad King, is taking on the Viper, Randy Orton. Eddie Kingston comes out. He's ready for a fight. And out comes Randy Orton, looking calm. A scary calm, if you will. So Eddie, he turns this match into a fight. Heavy punches, forearms, getting Orton in the corner, attacking him. But Orton tries to slow things down, and Eddie catches him with a big exploder suplex. Orton rolls to the outside. Eddie is following, hot on his tail. Then Orton jumps and rolls back in the ring. Eddie's following. Orton catches him with an RKO attempt, but Eddie shoves him away. Eddie hits another suplex, and Orton's getting frustrated here. He was hoping to put Eddie away quickly. So Eddie backs him into the corner once more, punch after punch, and Orton, he fights back, starts stomping on Eddie. And then the referee starts ordering Orton to stop, because he's got Eddie down in the corner, and he's just stomping him down. The ref's counting 1, getting up to 3, 4, 5. Orton's not letting up. Ding, ding, ding. Your winner by DQ, Eddie Kingston. The referee grabs onto Orton. He's telling him the match is over. You need to stop. Orton shoves the referee out of the ring. Eddie gets up, looking for a spinning back fist. Orton ducks. RKO. Eddie is planted. Then Orton grabs a steel chair, and he slides it in the ring. And he's kind of just observing his prey. He hoists that up. Boom, sending it crashing down on the back of Eddie Kingston. Not once, not twice, a third time. Then he crouches down beside Eddie. And he has this evil smile across his face. And he leaves the ring. So we see like a pre-recorded segment here. So earlier on in the night, we see Swerve Strickland. He's meeting with Armando Estrada, the manager of Umaga. Swerve hands an envelope to Estrada and says that, I don't need Umaga tonight, but here's your payment. And Estrada, he opens the envelope. He's kind of thumbing through the cash and consider it handled, he says. Later, we see Swerve. He's walking alone backstage. And then suddenly, we see the sledgehammer go flying into frame, smashing into a door near the head of Swerve Strickland. Swerve freezes for a moment. And as the camera pans, it is the Game, Triple H, no words. And Triple H just starts marching towards him. Swerve is running backstage, running as fast as he can, and Triple H is hot on the heels here. Swerve bursts through an arena exit, running towards his car. He gets inside, he's starting the engine. Triple H comes charging out. Swerve peels away, escaping barely. Then we see a final shot of Triple H with that sledgehammer in his hand, and we know only violence is coming from here on out. We have a commercial break, and as we come back, we see Penta is in the ring with Adam Pearce, and Johnny Gargano enters. Johnny Wrestling. Pearce says that this is their final official face-to-face here. That if they have anything to say before their upcoming championship match, lay it out. But let's try to keep this respectful, and let's try to keep the violence to a minimum, he says. Gargano says, Penta, I respect you, but I didn't fight through that fatal four-way to come this close and walk away empty-handed. And Penta steps closer. You earned your opportunity. Johnny says that at Riptide, I'm going to earn the championship. Penta raises that title high, then take it, he says. Johnny reaches for the gold, and Penta pulls it away. And now they're just inches apart. No attack, no cheap shots here. Just two competitors staring each other down, knowing that the Vanguard title will be on the line at the pay-per-view, and we're only a couple weeks away. So Jon Moxley and Bam Bam Bigelow is our next contest. So Bam Bam Bigelow, he marches down the ramp. Jon Moxley, his music hits, and Moxley immediately charges. They're colliding, unloading punches, back and forth here. They spill onto the outside. The bell has not even rung yet. Bam Bam throws Moxley in the barricade. Moxley comes back. Big headbutt from Bam Bam. Moxley clotheslining him over the barricade. These two men, they're fighting through the fans, through the crowd. Chairs are knocked over. Trash cans, spilt trash is going all over the place. Bam Bam, he gets hit in the back by a trash can. He turns around, he grabs Moxley, and they're just kind of brawling back and forth here. And eventually they're in the concourse area. They're near like the snacks and the merch table here. Fans are scattering. People are running lefts and rights. So Bam Bam, he gets his hands on Moxley this time. Picks him up for a big power bomb through the merch table. Crashing here. Moxley, he disappears into a pile of merch and busted table. Bam Bam is standing over him. He's smiling and he walks away. No security here. No interruption. And the camera remains on Moxley lying in the wreckage. Next up, we're backstage. And the outsiders, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, they're walking through the arena. Nash says that Damian Priest, he's involving himself in something that doesn't concern him. Damian enters the frame. You keep saying that. And Nash says, because it's true, then why are you still talking about me? And these men, they're getting face to face. Priest and Nash here. Hall starts to get between them, but then Priest shoves Hall to the side, and Adam Copeland enters the frame. Because in our main event of this evening, Adam Copeland and Scott Hall will go one-on-one after the attack that Copeland suffered last week at the hands of the outsiders. So Copeland tells Scott Hall to save it for the main event, and then Priest and Nash are just left there staring at each other. Now, it's time It's time for our main event of the evening. The show has been building towards this all night. A video package recaps Scott Hall, his frustration after Event Horizon, Adam Copeland arriving back in Reckoning last week, the Outsiders attacking Copeland for no good reason, and Damian Priest making the save to help Copeland out. Once both men are in the ring, Scott Hall, he uses his size here. He's backing Copeland in the corner. Heavy right hands, and Copeland, he's firing back. Hall catches him. Big boot. Copeland is down. Hall hits a fallaway slam. Going for the cover. 1, 2. Copeland kicks out. Hall starts to slow things down. He works Copeland's back, trying to really take this to the ground, trying to slow things down, slow down the fight, and really wear down the Rated R superstar, Copeland. But Copeland, he's fighting out. Forearms, clotheslines. Scott Hall, he's looking rocked. Copeland hits a big missile drop kick. Hall rolls towards the ropes. Copeland pulls him up. Hall suddenly catches him, though, in a quick choke slam. 1, 2. Copeland kicks out again. Scott Hall can't believe it, and he's just yelling at the ref. The bad guy is in the face of the referee. Copeland suddenly catches him with a big spear. 1, 2. Hall kicks out. Huge reaction from the crowd. And Copeland, he almost can't believe it himself. He's in the corner. He's aiming for another spear. Hall gets up. Copeland goes to charge. Hall moves, and Copeland crashes into the ring posts. Hall grabs and picks him up for a razor's edge. Copeland, he's fighting out. He's fighting out. He lands behind Hall. He turns around. Kick to the gut. Impaler DDT. Both men are down. Both men are down here. Eventually, they both slowly start to get up. Copeland, he's up first, though, and he's waiting. Big spear once again. He hooks a leg going for the cover. This might be it, folks. 1, 2. Kevin Nash pulls the referee out of the ring. The crowd, they're booing. They're booing the Outsiders. They're booing Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash, he climbs on the apron. Copeland grabs him. And then Hall, he attacks Copeland from behind. And the Outsiders are double teaming Adam Copeland here. All of a sudden, all rise. Damian Priest, his music hits. He goes running down the entrance ramp, going directly after Kevin Nash, and they're throwing punches back and forth, trading strikes. Scott Hall, Adam Copeland, they continue fighting. And then Copeland and Scott Hall, they take the fight to the outside. Copeland follows. He ends up Irish whipping Hall into the barricade, and he backs up, and he's looking for that spear. One more time. He goes running, charging down at Scott Hall. Boom! And the spear through the barricade. It comes crashing down. Both men are left in the wreckage of the barricade, exploding pretty much. Priest and Nash, they're fighting now. Still in the ring. Nobody's really winning this brawl between both of them. Security starts flooding the ringside area. They're separating all 4 men here. Scott Hall, he's furious. Copeland, he's on his feet, though. Priest is staring down Nash. And Kevin Nash, he's screaming profanities at Damian Priest. Nobody won this main event here, but the message is clear. The Outsiders have found 2 men who are not going to put up with their attitude. And even though they are the Outsiders, they may have picked a fight that they can't win. The camera pulls back. We see Copeland and Priest on one side and the Outsiders on the other. The crowd is roaring here, roaring as the screen fades to black, and that will be our episode of Reckoning for this week. So next week, going into next week, we're going to have a tag team delight night, if you will, where we're going to have some tag team action for you. We're going to have 3 tag team matches. So tune in, follow on socials, and don't forget, every Tuesday is a new episode of Reckoning, and on August 29th is our Riptide pay-per-view. Until next time, I'm your host, Jacob, and I hope you guys have a good one.